Hey everyone, it's Mark Sargent, and this is Flat Earth Q&A emails number 35. So let's get right to it, shall we? This first one says, "Hey guys and girl," because it was sent to both myself and Patricia Steer. "I used to love sports. You couldn't pay me to not watch the Super Bowl TV, but also since I've been awake, I could care less. I constantly hear on y'all's show that other flat earthers feel the same. Why do you think that is?" Don't know. I don't know why flat earthers. I think it's because the people generally just don't watch a lot of television. So that's probably why the people on YouTube I don't think watch that many. I mean, yeah, there's some dedicated YouTube channels to sports, but I don't know. I think that sports just doesn't interest a lot of people in the flat earth community for whatever reason. This one's called Travis Clemenger FE. "Hello, Mark. I first want to say thank you for your commitment. You open the minds of many, and I believe it's getting bigger. I'm convinced as you are. My only question is Eddie Bravo. I love the dude, but he was just on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he is trying to defend himself, and everything Bravo says I agree with, but he isn't as knowledgeable as you yet, so when everyone is bombarding him with what they believe, it's hard for him to defend himself. Question, is there any way you could get onto Joe Rogan's podcast and debate, or somehow get in with Eddie and help him out? He is trying to open people's eyes. Thank you." And also, the rocket launch once again proves nothing. They don't show anything in real time or show the rocket from beginning to end going into space. Ha ha. And once again, they just use one camera with an obstructive view, doing the exact same thing as ISS Live is doing and NASA Live. Thanks again. Let's stand together, go to the White House, LOL, and NASA, and demand answers. Easier said than done, I'm sure. God bless. And yeah, thank you, Travis. As far as me getting on the Joe Rogan podcast, I don't think so. I probably on a short list of people he's not going to have on there, because I called him out and said, look, there's a couple things here. One, he is an anti-conspiracy guy. And he didn't used to be. He's the only guy I've ever known in the conspiracy world to climb completely out of the rabbit hole and say, oh yeah, there's nothing in that rabbit hole at all. It's like, what are you talking about? You were in the rabbit hole for years, and you're coming out and you're saying there's nothing there. There's no conspiracy ever out. He won't talk about conspiracies anymore. Nothing's real. Contrails aren't real, or chemtrails aren't real. 9/11 wasn't real. Nothing was real. And his favorite, NASA. Remember when he came back out of the rabbit hole, he got his brand new, big coincidence, sci-fi show called Joe Rogan Questions Everything. In the very first episode, he took back everything he said bad about NASA. Sound a little suspicious? Yeah, we've seen it in television and movies. They got to him. So I don't think I'm going to be... If he invites me, I may go on the show, but I'm sure there'll be a pre-production meeting that'll be very interesting and telling, which I guess... what questions do I get to ask and what don't I get to ask? Or what will he bring up? Will it be kind of like... It would kind of remind me of Eddie Bravo going on Alex Jones, where when he actually sat down with Alex Jones, he was not talking about flat Earth, which meant that they talked about that beforehand. It's like, don't bring it up. Just don't bring it up. It happens in all sorts of productions. So that's why I think I'm not going to be on Rogan anytime soon. Okay, this one's called Thank You, referencing torpedoes. "Hi, Mark. Thank you very much for airing my thoughts on World War I and II. Torpedoes, I just wonder why the Japanese would develop a torpedo with an 18-mile range when what on earth could you see that far at a periscope depth? Not much on a globe, I fancy. Also imagine the poor helmsman trying to trim the sub at periscope depth on a globe. May I add, the battleship Bismarck's main guns had a max range of 22 miles, controlled by basic radar. Radar does not bend. Just my thoughts, Mark. Keep up the good work. Take care. Regards, Bob." Thanks, Bob. Awesome. Good stuff. This one's called Flat Earth Idea. "Mark, I know you must be busy and still haven't received a response. The experiment I want to try is to take a powerful telescope and track the sun setting when it has set, zoom in, and continue to track as long as you're able to. I live close by, just a ferry ride away. When I get the telescope, I will come to Victoria. My son lives there, so two birds with one stone. I also heard on the bounty and will give $500 towards the bounty. That's the curvature bounty. Hopefully my idea is feasible, and if you want to join in, I would be honored to help in the war against lies. Tony. Yeah, and anyone that's doing experiments, look, you don't need me personally to be there to do the experiments. I'm just the guy that introduced the topic and made some videos. I really don't go. I mean, yeah, I did a little experiment with my my temperature gun thing, but I didn't put it on video. Everybody else is doing the experiments. Like, everyone's got a role to play. Mine is more of a beat the drum type guy. I'm more of the guy at the end of the rowing crew with the megaphone, yelling. That's pretty much what I do. So, but I hope the telescope thing may work, but you want to film it. And actually, we've already got some great videos of the sun as it goes off into the distance. And when you zoom in, even though it looks like it's dropping below the horizon, and you haven't gotten up, look at it again, and it starts raising. When you start zooming in, it's fantastic. Just look up Flat Earth Sun and start going through them on YouTube. This one's called Colorado Springs. Mr. Sargent, good afternoon. I was wondering if you knew of any meetup in the Colorado Springs area. I am aware of the meetup in Fort Collins. I'm just checking to see if there's one closer to me. Thank you in advance. Christina Trudeau Hargett. Hargett. I've never known a Hargett. And no, I don't know anything in the Colorado Springs area. But if you want to start one, Tina, by all means, you know, if there's other people, remember, I kind of helped do the thing up in Fort Collins, Colorado. So if you want to do one, if you have a restaurant or a place where you guys could meet and you think there's enough people, by all means, let me know. Shoot me a thing saying when you're going to do it. I will make a video for you. Like with anybody, I don't care where you are. If you're going to do a hangout and you want it promoted, and I'll give you some more exposure. At least I'll try. This one's called Time Bandits Rewatch. They live in an enclosed world. Mark, I rewatched Time Bandits from 1981. I probably saw this is HBO a year or two later, which means I was 12 or 13 or so. I know I didn't like this movie. Oh, I don't know. Time Bandits is a sci-fi classic. Part of my rewatch was to determine why I didn't like this movie as well as the Flat Earth stuff. Not sure how closely you remember this movie. I remember it very well, actually. I didn't do an analysis, but I'm sure this probably follows Scene by The Wizard of Oz, which was one of my favorite movies. Even in the rewatch, I must say this movie rubs me the wrong way. Things I picked up on. One, I have learned to watch what is on the walls, especially at the beginning of movies. It almost seemed like there was a drawing of two tall structures and something flying in the sky. I couldn't get it close enough to look to say if it was like a 9/11 disclose. Two, there was an enclosed world that they broke through. That is true. Like the Truman Show, they came to the end, the enclosure, but these dwarves broke through the barrier with a skull. I thought there was a part with the ship coming to the end of the world, but it was a ship that was the hat of the giant that had been in the ocean. The other side of breaking through the barrier was the land of the evil bad guy, which had an official name that I forget, but it was more land and different land. Three, there was a part where the beast people on the ship were going to eat the dwarves. This is never good. Four, one of the things that got the dwarves in trouble was the Supreme One was making a 600-foot tree that was pink. I don't know if a 600-foot tree is big enough to fall into the category of no trees on flat Earth or not. Five, another big idea was the whole movie was the long game of the Supreme One in order to take down the Evil One. By the way, the Evil One was so evil. I realize now that this guy is in many scenes where people make collections of movie bad guys. This guy is always there. Yes, you're absolutely right. In fact, I'm pretty sure that was the same guy that played the Evil One was also the guy that was the evil guy in Tron. Not shocking there because they were very close in the movie age. Six, it alluded to the first Tron, not the remake, the 80s Tron, the original Disney Tron. Six, it alluded to reincarnations repeating the same things over and over. Seven, the evil Flat Earth used mind control in the dwarves and even said it was mind control. Another seven, she named it seven again. I'll say it at eight. The main part of the movie were the portal doors that would open. I think there were things told to us in this movie that exist, including the fact that the evil was not gotten rid of 100%. Yes, very good point. And a great little cameo by Sean Connery again at the end as the fireman. I don't believe I saw a globe anywhere. This is about the only time I have noticed one. Maybe because there isn't one. Anyway, another movie showing in Enclosed World. Stay flat, Elizabeth Mapplebeck. Oh, don't say my name. Just kidding. Haha, I see what you did there. That's funny. Okay, this one's called Japanese Satellite Pictures. Hi, Mark. I've been following your work for about a year now. I've been really looking hard at so-called space pictures of Earth. CGI, thumbs down. I saw the Japanese satellite pictures supposedly taken every 10 minutes of the Earth from 23,000 miles away. You're talking about the Himawara satellites. I see many problems from the get-go. The satellite does not show the Earth's rotation. Yep. It shows the Earth, but it doesn't show it rotating. So that would mean that it is a geosynchronous orbit, right? Yes, you are correct if you believe them. Just how fast would that satellite be going to stay over Australia? Why no sun or moon going by behind the Earth? I still like sushi. What? So you're condemning Japanese satellite? It's like, but that's basically him saying, I don't hate Japanese people. I still like sushi. Please tell me sushi is real. Thanks for the sushi, Japan. That line should be an Archer. That's a great Archer line. I wish they would stick to what they know. Peace, Jim. Thank you, Jim. It made me laugh. I don't laugh as much as I should. This one's called Quick Flat Earth Question. Mark, do you think the Malaysian Flight 370 flew over the edge of the Earth and that's why they have not found it yet? Not even a sign of wreckage from that plane. No. I don't think it flew over the edge of the Earth, but it wasn't being tracked. It was outside of radar range. That's why they lost it. Remember, that was a 777 flagship state-of-the-art plane. Black boxes, apparently nobody knows where this plane went down. They just kind of glossed over that. But no, I now why it was crashed, don't know. People can speculate on that for a while, but this one's called Bill Nye. We've lost, haven't we? Mark, Nye will be addressing pseudoscience of this nature and how anyone can assess it critically in his new Netflix show, Bill Nye Saves the World, which will be released in full on April 21st. I know that's an older email. In a world rife with fake news and conspiracy theories, teaching audiences to think critically is key to ensuring our society's decisions are rooted in reality. However, as the Flat Earther discussion illustrates, it's arguably equally as important to teach rational thinkers how best to engage in conversations with people who disagree with them. Good point. And the Bill Nye the Science Guy thing is getting terrible reviews, and I guarantee it's not going to be. Well, I can't guarantee it. But, I mean, Bones, that show was picked up for 12 seasons, and I hated it. But the Bill Nye the Science Guy thing, I wouldn't think would get picked up for a second season, because I don't know where he's going to go with it. You gotta also remember, though, Bill Nye was also on Dancing with the Stars. He was actually considered a star. And I think he danced to They Blinded Me with Science by Thomas Dolby. Anyway, this one's called Flat Earth. Hello, Mark Sargent. I am no person of stature, about as insignificant as can be. I'm an uneducated, underemployed mother of two from Kentucky. In the Bible Belt, I grew up in church. Although I felt and was certain of God in heart, I was also certain that if I ever, this is verbatim, guys, if I was being told a half-truth, it was by the church. I understand you've kept some distance between your research and a religious affiliation. I feel a great need to make that connection to whatever God truly is. I would very much appreciate any starting point or paths you have discovered outside the firmament, but have wanted to refrain from discussing in your Flat Earth series. I stayed up all night and am an overnight Flat Earther. So regardless, thank you to that. Nikki Williams. You know what? I'm going to send Nikki. I will put this in my respond directly pile, and what I will do is I will send her a link to, because if you're doing chapter and verse, if you're a big Christian or have Christian affiliations, you really should check out several works. I mean, Celebrate Truth is a great channel. Controversy 7 is a great channel. Zen Garcia is a great channel, and of course Rob Skiba. And I'll probably send her the link to Rob Skiba's fantastic website called testingtheglobe.com. This one's called NDT's audio. Hey, Mark, just a thought. Using only NDT's audio from this cringeworthy video that flat Earth graphics in the background might make a good introduction to one of your videos. Just a thought. And when I click on it, and when the video is called Science in America by Neil deGrasse Tyson, and it was published April 19th, 2017. It's got 500,000 hits. Awesome. Yeah, I might. I'm trying to kind of pick and choose my stuff with Neil, though, because he says so many terrible things. All right, this one's called Rogan and Eddie Bravo, Flat Earth Discussion and Unsubscribes. Hey, Mark, hope you're doing well. Have been tuning into your Strange World show a few times over the last couple months. Kudo to you and your team for the continued efforts. I really appreciate your candor, attitude, and sense of humor. Keep it up. Last night I watched this video. I'm sure it was the Rogan thing. I'm not going to click on it. This is an excerpt from the Joe Rogan Experience podcast with Eddie Bravo. I feel like someone really needs to break this video down with some analysis and commentary, as Eddie, unfortunately, when it was in over his head. I found this train of thought and argument style was relatively weak, considering how clear some guys are, such as Mark Sargent, ODD, Jeranism, FEA, etc. I felt that he had some things on the tip of his tongue that he couldn't articulate or back up quite well enough to hold his ground. He kept reverting to, I'm just crazy and I'm just having fun, etc., which, as Rogan exploited, was a dangerous fallback when trying to discuss this topic and proof on both sides of FE or RE. Probably shouldn't call it RE, by the way, because it's not round. Remember, a dinner plate is round. The Earth either has to describe it as a globe, a sphere, or a ball. Only three I could come up with. Anyway, he continues. I find that the flat Earth asshole has been recently the most level-headed about what is actually provable and what is just conjecture. He's super suspicious about lots of things that we cannot prove, and his attitude is one that I appreciate. In FEA's video, whatever his latest one is, he claims that the two foundational and observable points are, one, there is no curvature, two, the Earth doesn't spin. If Eddie and others had focused on these two data points instead of getting lost in the plethora of other flat Earth ideas, I think he would have made a much better case. I found that Eddie Bravo and Rogan just went flying off on tangents that were hard to back up. Unfortunately, when Eddie brings up a Robert Simmons blue marble Photoshop data point, Rogan's guy on the computer didn't even play the video. He had just talked about it. Instead, they just read this article and didn't have the quote Eddie was referring to. It's Photoshop, but it has to be. They didn't really analyze this info that Eddie was referencing. Lame. Another point Eddie brought up was the Michelson-Morley experiment, but he didn't really understand it enough to be able to discuss it intelligently. I recall 2 experiments were done that resulted in proving the existence of an ether and that there was no ether wind. Since then, science seemed to reject the existence of ether and contended that we're on a spinning ball, which is not what the 2 experiments found. I can't find the video I watched on the topic, but I remember a good one. Mark, would you be able to summarize and explain the Michelson-Morley and related ether, or he spelled it 2 different ways, wind experiments? I'm sure you have some video links about it too. Your commentary, I love your little videos, reposts of other FE related topics on your channel. However, I miss your opinion commentary on the content. Sometimes I wish that you could tee up the topic in context and share your thoughts a bit more than you do. I guess that's why you do your live shows, but I feel that the YouTube audience would benefit from hearing your analysis of topics also. YouTube unsubscribes. Also want to mention that I discovered myself unsubscribed from both ODD and your channels last night, and I definitely was subscribed to those before. I did not unsub myself. Keep up the great work, Rowan. Boy, a lot of stuff there. Again, Eddie Bravo, he's fighting the good fight, but there's only so much he can do. He's not exactly the best debater in the world. When it comes to the Michelson-Morley or the Aries failure experiments, seriously, just look them up. They go into great detail. Breaking them down for me is not going to necessarily help anyone because they're fairly complex experiments anyway. They're not a silver bullet. But what they did show, the best quote for me was actually from Aries failure when he was trying to find the ether's wind. People, not the solar wind, but there was like a cosmic wind that the Earth was going through. And at the end of the experiment, The quote, I think, was better than anything, which was why they call it Aries failure. Either I failed or the Earth isn't moving. And what he was meaning was the Earth wasn't moving through space. And that was so telling because everyone knew that the Earth was moving, even though NASA hadn't even been founded yet. So how? But it was just an assumption. Well, the Earth's moving. We all know the Earth's moving. We've known for the last 450 years. How did you know that? And so that, again, that's why science is going to have a hard time, because that was the foundation that he built his experiment on. And the quote, I don't know, just is always going to stick with me, because he says, oh yeah, I must have failed because everything that science said about the Earth can't be wrong, so I must have failed. And so that's, he died later went probably on his deathbed thinking, yep, I'm a crappy scientist, when in fact he was probably much better than he gave himself credit for. This one's called Lunar Eclipses. Hey Mark, recently in a discussion with a globe believer, I brought up the fact that if the lunar eclipse is caused by the Earth's shadow on the moon, then how do you explain the eclipse while the sun is rising up in the same sky at the same time in the eclipse? He says it's simple. So, oh, you know what? I heard this on something the other day. Selenian, which states that due to refraction in the atmosphere, there's that refraction thing again, under special circumstances, we are actually seeing the apparent sun, which would mean that the true sun is roughly 5 to 7 hours away from the horizon in order for the Earth to be directly between the sun and the moon, according to the heliocentric model. I guess this means that timeanddate.com has it wrong or is somehow calculating this refraction. But anyway, my question back to him was this. If this only happens during the special atmospheric conditions, why don't we experience the sudden decrease of 5 to 7 hours when the atmospheric conditions revert back to normal? I'm still waiting on his answer. Thanks, Mark, for all your hard work and keep doing what you do. Yours truly, some guy from New York. Seriously. P.S. Once you go flat, there's no globing back. I love the Flat Earth community. I love them so much. They're creative. They're funny. This one's called Information Request. Hi, Mark. Thanks for the information on YouTube downloads. Oh, it's because I taught him how to download any YouTube video. You guys want to download any YouTube video, all you have to do is type in the letters SS in front of the Y in YouTube, and it'll redirect you to another page, and then all you do is don't click on any of the paid stuff. It'll say, oh, you want to pay for a special custom downloader, or do you just want to download it for free in your browser? Always choose download it for free in your browser, and then it'll give you, it'll never give you anything higher than medium quality, but even medium quality is high def from what I can tell. And if they says, they try to say, oh, it's, it's low quality video, who cares? If you want to download the video and shred it and start chopping it up, just type in SS in front of the Y in YouTube. It's a great trick. Somebody showed me, and that's how I grab everything nowadays, with the exception of the stuff that I can't download from certain websites, and then I contact a different person and have them do it for me. Anyway, hi Mark, thanks for the information on the YouTube downloads. While I haven't tried it yet, I really appreciate knowing I may now bring those very valuable videos, such as yours, to my own computer to review at my leisure. Because he was asking, because he wants to download all the Flat Earth clues and stuff I make on my channel. He wants to download it to his machine. So that's a good way to do it. Rather than having to be tethered to the internet connection all the time. Good point. What if your network goes down? Then what? Furthermore, this will provide me a way to share such valuable videos and with those I love and care about who would otherwise not even bother to look at them. Thanks again, William. Thank you, William. Fantastic. I'm going to try to get through these fast as I can. I've got so many emails I got to go through. Okay, this one's called Flat Earth. Hey, Mark, my wife and I have been conspiracy theorists since 1999 when my first real estate client told me we have never landed on the moon. Wow. I thought he was crazy, but then it led me and my wife into a journey of research. After lots of research, we realized he was right. So we have looked at all the conspiracies over the last 17 years and have been enlightened. A friend of ours, Bobby Mann, told us about the Flat Earth conspiracy about 9 months ago, and I thought he had lost his mind. I couldn't swallow that pill at first, but then my wife and I started researching, and now it has been 9 months, and boy, our eyes have been opened once again. We all watch a lot of your videos, Rob Skiba, Eric Dubé, and others. It's crazy how we really seem to live in the Matrix. I thought I would email and say hello, and I'll try to call you since you put your number in the intro video. Have a great day. We'd love to keep in touch. Paul Giles. Nice. Awesome. This one's called Sorry New Link. You know, one of these days I'm going to have to read one of the solicitation emails, like a letter from Africa saying that they're going to transfer $10 million into my bank account. I should probably read one of those. If you know what, next, not this show, but next show. Hi, Mark. I sent you a link to my new video a couple days ago, but then I found out that had issues with copyrights. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. So I fixed it, and this is the link. I really hope you get a chance to watch it. I count on your opinion. Take care, and thanks for everything you do for our community. Sincerely, Faranak. And he sends me the new link, and I click on it. It says this video has been removed by user. Awesome. That's super. But you guys send me anything you want. Send me videos. Send me all the stuff. Don't assume I haven't seen it. Seriously. But don't be redundant and send it to me like 5 times. This one's called Flat Earth Thoughts. Mark, hey, I've been reading a lot about this, and today came across your Flat Earth Clues documentary, which I'm loving. I've had thoughts even before coming across the Flat Earth beliefs and what have you in regards to the whole pictures from space. So you have pictures from the moon which don't show any stars in the background and never see them from the ISS video feeds. Then the I am an inventor who is obsessed recently with this topic. For decades, I have been working in science and engineering with the basic perspective of one who believes the Bible is true, while professors are in fantasy land. I've developed some new ideas on old theories, some research planned experiments, all on my own, as discussing such topics as cardinal social foul and beyond. I've never heard that term. And beyond the point even a recently opened intellectual mind can handle. Some threads arc across my disciplines to weave immense tapestries that show layers of design and events that explain maybe loose ends or gaps. If you're interested, let me know. And he's got some icons next to some points, so let me do it. Dinosaurs versus giants, an example of perverse reversal of our own history. Genesis, word by word, line by line, dismantling attack campaigns by popular academics, entertainers, historians, scientists, and other charlatans. Exactly how the Tower of Babel played out, the illustration of evolution, my dome experiment for the eclipse. The GPS Wikipedia page shows that satellites are not actually operating. That's interesting. Google Earth proves flatly false information. Chemtrails worse than most realize, and why. Gravity and buoyancy. No long ages. Oh, no long ages. Oil is an abiotic and not liquid dinosaurs. Huh. And much more. Regards, Doug DeWalt. That's awesome. Thanks, Doug. This one's called Just Saying Hi. Hi, Mark. My name is John. I live in Acme, Washington. I've lived in Washington a long time, and I never knew there was a town called Acme in Washington. Just saw that you live in Langley. Thought I'd see if you want to catch a beer sometime. And now I'm going to have to look up where the heck Acme is, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'll do it offline. This is called Flat Earth and New Perspectives. Hi, Mark. I want to be in a live call or show for your YouTube channel. What do I have to do to get my word out on my thoughts and perspectives that I have? Nice. And this is from Mauricio. And I emailed Mauricio and said, if you want to get on a live show, all you have to do is wait till Tuesday night. And 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, you can call in on truthfrequencyradio.com. You can call in my special phone number, which is 720-897-6111, and you can get live on the show. But be warned, there are a ton of callers right now that call into the show, and I don't even have somebody filter them. They just come straight to me. And yet, I've got almost no trolls. So if you want to troll the show, do that too. That'd be kind of fun. This one's called This Debunk Site Needs Some Comments and Attention. Hi, Mark. Thanks for taking the moment to read this. A friend of mine sent me this link to help set me straight and to get me back into believing in the spinning ball. Although I laugh at the negative attention I've been getting from many lately, this site comes up many times as their reason for not taking Flat Earth seriously. However, we can change that. Can you please get some listeners to help me comment and refute these so-called 14 proofs that the Flat Earth theory is false? Oh boy, here it is. Metabunk.org. I'm pretty sure that was the guest that Joe Rogan just had on. It's called Debunked the Flat Earth Theory, 14 Ways the Flat Earth Theory is False, on metabunk.org. Yeah, if you guys want to go in there and light them up, go ahead. I would love if you could please mention this site so that the Flat Earth community can leave comments and knock out some of these false proofs. These sites promoting false proofs needs the attention of the community so that they correct their stance on fake science. Also, the more we debunk the debunkers, the more truth will be found in the results. Please mention this site on your now. Yeah, I get it. Please mention. You don't have to tell me 3 times. And let's see how many of us, your listeners, can take out the lies and help misinformed masses that hold this site as an authority. Once the comments start rolling in, they'll be forced to relook at the real data rather than believe in the fake science brought up on their site. Thank you, and keep up the good fight. Regards, Jesse from Minneapolis, Minnesota. This one's called Flat Earth Meetups. Hey Mark, just want to drop you a note that I really appreciate the work you're doing for the cause of Flat Earth. My eyes were opened about 4 years ago with the fact of the geocentricity of the Earth, and then the Flat Earth was presented to me through your videos as well as Eric Dubay. I don't follow Eric as much anymore, but I do owe him a debt of gratitude for helping the veil over my eyes to be dropped. Do you run across any Flat Earthers who live in the southeastern part of Pennsylvania? I'm having trouble meeting like-minded individuals from my area. I have a phone friend in Ohio who is a flat earther, but no one local I can reach out or talk to. Philadelphia is the nearest large city to me. That's about 40 minutes south of my house. I know you're busy and probably can't help me. Oh, I'm going to help you, man. I'm going to do it right now. But I thought I would give it a shot. Let me know, Bill Ramsey. P.S. Feel free to give up. That's what I was going to do. Feel free to give my email address and phone number. You didn't leave your phone number, man. You didn't do it. Would anyone be interested in chatting about the flat earth? PS 2. Everybody I talk to thinks I'm an idiot for thinking the way I do. Par for the course, I suppose. Okay, so if you want to email this guy, his email is wramsay6@comcast.net. So if you are in the, where the heck was he again? Southeastern part of Pennsylvania. Somewhere in Pennsylvania. You can email him. His name is Bill Ramsey. And his email address is wramsay6@comcast.net. Love the fact, by the way, he has a Comcast address. Not a lot of people still have those. I have one, though. Mine is msargent23@comcast.net. I've had that literally for 24 orbital ATK CRS-7 and SpaceX crap, which can be seen on YouTube. We want the tapes from the moon landing, but as we all know, they'll not give us none of this. People get mad and turn their back on you when they hear the flat earth theory, but they're forgetting the relativity is a theory, not a law. Gravity is a theory, not a law, and therefore it has to be questioned. Millions are spent in space exploration, millions that are not spent in ending a war, the hunger in the world, and diseases. We deserve more. Thank you. P.S. How can I get in touch with your radio program here in Portugal? I would like to call to it. Best regards and continue the good work, Miguel. And I gotta put him in the other list, and I will write back and say you gotta go TFR, but it's not an 800 number, so it's gonna be long distance if you're calling from Portugal, just so you know. This one's called Frequency of the Heavens. Hi Mark, please feel free to use my name and also provide a shout out with my email address for those in Bristol, UK to connect with me. All right, fine. His email address is, or her, I don't know. Robin is one of those names. Is it a girl or a guy? It is Robin3108@hotmail.com if you're out in the UK. Robin3108@hotmail.com. I have 2 very interesting points to make. Firstly, please share the link to the video below. And I click on the link, and it's called Frequency of the Heavens, Cymatics, Bio, and Sonoluminescence, Actual Stars and Planets, which was published in 2015 on YouTube. It's got 130,000 views. Cool. Which shows the amazing experiments with sound and water and the effect it has when played at certain frequencies. Namely, certain resonance creates the same light effect as the shape and appearance of stars. It's called sonoluminescence, and it's totally awesome. Yep, I've watched this. It brings life to the Bible verse in Genesis, and God said, "Let there be light." And in conjunction with the firmament being waters above, makes total sense that there is a sound creating the shape and color of the stars. What do you think? Yeah, Yeah, you're not the first one to suggest this. My second thing to mention is that I have a business contact who is a British Airways pilot, and I asked him if he ever dips the nose of the plane during his flights, to which he says no. And then I said, well, if we're in a curved Earth, then surely we'd have to do so as to avoid flying off into space. He sounded curious, and then after a few more flat Earth points, he chuckled and then said at a primary school assembly, whilst talking to the pupils, the head teacher asked him if the Earth was flat, and now with me to made him stop and think. The message is spreading, Mark, and I'm totally grateful for all your work. I feel connected to the community with you and Patricia there to keep up the amazing work you do. Really hope to make the Flat Earth Conference. All the very best. Robin. Awesome. Cool. This one's called Flat Earth License Plate. Hey, Mark, this is Jimmy Bordeaux from Louisiana, and I just want to say thanks for waking me up. I have a question that I might have missed your answer to. That is the sun, when observed from the North Pole, travels all the way around, up and down and up and down, which reminds me of the oscilloscope wave. It's like it travels along a wave and could explain why it looks like it's setting and wouldn't be detected from my point of view. I don't know. It's just something I've heard. I haven't heard much about it. I was pondering your thoughts about the subject. Thanks, and keep up the good work. I have not thought about it a lot, but I will look into it. I promise, and hopefully I'll bring it up on a future show. Swear to God. This one's called Heavy Artillery Against Flat Earth and Some Flat Earth Retaliation. Hello, Mark. This article, and it's on the nationalpost.com, why the Flat Earth movement is the best symbol of the increasingly diminished value of truth and intelligence, ties in with John Oliver's sting last Sunday on April 16th, equaling Trump supporters, also known as dumbass rednecks, according to the updated neoliberal dictionary, with flat earthers. Basically says we accept flat earth because we're too lazy to learn. However, I was not too lazy to bite back. I was looking for a comment section. There was none, of course, but I found only options to like the article on various platforms, which speaks a lot about the psychological profile of the newspaper portal. However, there was a button called typo for reporting a typo in the article. Couldn't resist. I reported the whole title of the article as a typo. Clever. And I would call that an exploit, just so you know. And that it should actually be why the Flat Earth movement is the best symbol of the increased value of truth and intelligence. Stay flat, Alexander. Thank you, Alexander. That's made my day. That's good. See? He found a way in. Never say never. This one's called Cosmology Debates. Hi, Mark. I've been debating Flat Earth on a debate site called Theology Online. You can find it at theologyonline.com. My thread is titled The Earth is Flat and We Never Went to the Moon. You may find my arguments interesting. Thanks for all your work, Dave. So if you guys want to check out Theology Online and have some fun, if you got some time, I know there's a lot of content out there, a lot of places to go to, but pick your favorites, pick your weapons, go at them. This one's called Having Fun with Mark. Okay. Hello, I'm having fun today with Mark. I've been sending everyone in my contact list, with exception to friends I don't want to risk losing, Flat Earth Clues, Director's Cuts, and some other random Flat Earth video links. A lot of people haven't kept my contact information, so they don't have a clue who is sending them this information. I get back random offers from ocean fronts in Arizona and the like. I just tell them, watch the video, then call me. It's amazing how sensitive this topic is. It's like sorcery to people. Good. But actually, NASA are the sorcerers. I love Flat Earth. Thank you so much for bearing the whole thing. Stay strong. No name. That's cool. This one's called Cliff High. Mark, Cliff is coming with a challenge. Who's Cliff High? Take a look. Better click on this real quick. And it's, oh, yeah. Alt Reality number 4, not Flat Earth, Top Human Reasons Why by Cliff High. He's got 28,000 subscribers. I think he knows something, and it's ADV dot, crap. I don't know all TLAs. Or anyway, not the Flat Earth, but then again, win-win for all. Call him, please. Regards, Roy. P.S. Been a flathead in about 40 years, but have a lot of difficulties to understand. Got a bachelor's in electronics chemistry and biochemistry, and studied a lot more like philosophy. It's good. Well-rounded. This one's called a genius flat earth video made by a YouTuber with 19 million subscribers. Yep, I know which one she's going to be talking about. Hi, Mark. I accidentally found this video on YouTube and can't tell if it was made only as a joke or as a clever way to bring tons of people's attention to flat earth by making fun of a concept, but at the same time making some good basic points. It was probably a mix of both. Some of the things that were probably meant to be a joke actually make sense to me. There were some ideas that I'd never thought of before. For example, how all the planets of the solar system lined up in a human body become similar to the chakra system. Uranus is where the anus is, and if you take the letter H from the word Earth and move it to the front, you get heart. So that's why the Earth is in a human body would be where the heart is. So you get the same with Mars and arms. Anyway, I can see that it's a very popular channel. This video had got over 400,000 views in just an hour. So whatever the purpose, it's got like 5 million now, 6 million now. Whatever the purpose was, I'm sure it's helping the flat earth reach more people. I really recommend it to anyone, even those who hate FE. Me too, because it's so funny and it's so brilliant. I even think even if people would laugh at it because they wouldn't want to look after FE after watching it, this video would be stuck in their heads for a long time and they would want to share it with everyone to show how stupid FE is, but it would still be in a way to spread the message and get the concept stuck into people's heads until they finally decide to do some research on it. Here's the link. Yeah, and you can look. The channel's called, I don't even have to click on the link. The channel's called I gotta spell it first. Here you go. Nigahiga. It's done by a Japanese kid. It's called Nigahiga. And it's clever channel. It's way more entertaining than that piece of crap PewDiePie. It's got 50 million subscribers because of its marketing machine. Honest to God, I don't know why people watch it. It's just there's nothing there. It just lacks in any talent the guy has. Anyway, or it could be a European thing. I don't know. But yeah, check out that. Go to the channel. It's got 19 million subscribers, called Nigahiga, and have fun with it. It's good. It's a funny video. We still got more time. This one's called Questions. Mark, hello there. I've just finished all 12 clues videos from the website. I have a question based on the long haul. Why is North Korea a threat if they are literally on the other side of the world? And why? Ooh, it's good. It's a new one. I like that. And why does the government and media keep saying that within 4 years North Korean missiles could possibly reach our western coast? Possibly Hawaii, and do ships sail from the east to the west around the world? How did Japan bomb Pearl Harbor unless they flew for like 12 consecutive hours at least? Thank you. Well, they had aircraft carriers. That one I can't answer because they actually had carrier groups. You had to do that with carriers, plain and simple. This one's called NBA, and yep, the mysterious underwater circle wall that's... Oh, yeah. There was an article. I'm sorry. It was sent by Justin Stellman out of California. And the article's called Mysterious Underwater... Look this one up if you get a chance. Mysterious underwater wall that circles the entire planet found on Google Earth. Freaky. Absolutely a freaky thing there. Interesting. I don't know if it's real or anything, but it's interesting. This one's called My Comments on New Earth Day Photos of Earth from Space. Hi Mark, been following you since the spring of 2015. Here's the video link from the channel Space Videos and screenshots of my comments that will probably be taken down. This could be a great example for your show. Also, I'm a pro photographer with over 10 years of Photoshop and video engineering experience. Best, Richard Khoury, Khouri. My film directed alias is Rudolph West. Feel free to read all this, including my real name, on air. I don't give a F. History will separate the quacks from the real scientists within the next 500 years. We'll know. They won't even know who Copernicus was. And yeah, there's a photo out there called... I can't send you guys the link. But anyway, this one's called... We have time for a couple more, and then I want to read one that I just got today. I got to skip forward to the top because there's an interesting video that came in, or an interesting comment that came in. Oh, let's see here. NASA documents of flat Earth. Nope, not gonna read that one. It's too long. Try to keep it under a page, guys, if you can. This one's called Flat Earth. Mark, a YouTube channel, Vintage Space, seems to have accidentally proved motionless flat Earth. In the beginning of the video, she explains gimbal lock on rockets. She goes on to talk about gyros and guidance computers that measure absolute motion. I'm fairly certain the woman or channel has no idea they are proving the Earth must be motionless as observed by the gyroscopes. That's from Kevin Cuss. Thank you, Kevin. Great. This one's called The Discussion is Everywhere. Mark, hello. Thought you might find this interesting. The Flat Earth debate is going on in the black consciousness community as well as lots of viewers. Thanks, Damien. And yeah, Bro Sanchez is in on it, and you've been exposed, and the demographics have been widening, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. This one's called Trump phone calls to the ISS. Quick question: what's your thought on the Trump calling the ISS? Do you think he is aware about the flat Earth, or has no interest in the president's book of secrets? He's so focused on rebuilding the country. There's so many things wrong with that question. I don't think Trump cares. I don't think he knows. Presidents aren't allowed to know really anything of any high clearance. And as far as him rebuilding the country, we'll see about that. Also, the wiring on the ISS is not a professional job. You would think if they spent $150 billion, they could at least have decent wiring instead of being all over the place. Yeah, I noticed that too. P.S. $150 billion is too much of an even number on how much the ISS cost. Also true. Yeah, when you look at the wiring, there is loose stuff everywhere when it comes to, and there's so much. See, I mean, it looks like an IT room, to be honest. There's so much cabling everywhere, and it's really, you need that I mean, an excessive amount if you start looking at it. Do we have too much? How much more time we got? Wait, a couple more. No, nope. Not gonna read that. And okay, we'll read this one and then one more. This one's called Subaru Supports Flat Earth. Mark, Subaru Motors has created a sticker that says the world is flat, and it's for their one of their engine types. I think the Boxster engine. Check out this video link, and yeah, if you don't want to have fun, type in. You want to have some fun, and someone should maybe. I've got to have somebody invite these guys to the conference, the Flat Earth conference down in North Carolina, because it is. It's free promote. I mean, they got all the stuff already worked out. Type in the world is flat Subaru, and they've been running a campaign since 2015 about part of their new Boxster engine, and they got all the t-shirts, all the stickers, all the stuff. So it'd be great if they showed up. Free advertising for Subaru. They don't even have to do anything, just show up with their merchandise. That'd be fantastic. Can I get in one more before the other thing? Okay, we'll do this one and then one more. This one's called Flat Earth Textual Book Reference. Mark, have you seen this one yet? Read the third one down. And it's called Processing Sequence for Avia. Oh, third one down. No, I'm not going to read it. It's too complex. But it says locally it's flat for them, which seems to point towards that darn disco ball Earth model again. I have no clue what it all means. Yeah, that's 20 seconds. I'm not getting back. This one's called Gravity in the Artificial Horizon. Okay, this one and then one more. Hey Mark, I love your series on Flat Earth clues and other content. Thanks for putting it out there. I do have some concerns though. I believe there is a simple evidence that we do not live on a spinning ball, but I do have some concerns with some arguments that many use to support it. One being gravity is just density, but it seems quite clear that it can't be just that. Density can explain why the different things separate, but it doesn't explain why more dense things fall, what we know as down. There has to be some other force pulling things down in that specific direction. Two, I talked to a pilot friend of mine, and he informed me that the artificial horizon in airplanes is physically counterweighted so that it would always correct itself back to level. How? Really? With all, whatever. This feature would be necessary even on a flat Earth, so planes would not in fact increase in altitude due to the Earth's curvature. I don't know. I've talked to pilots and flight instructors. Thanks, I wish you all the best and hope you continue your quest for the truth. That's from Dylan. Okay, we're going to do one more, and this one's kind of special because it came in, if I can find it. Yeah, it's called Armed Forces Network Exposure. and it came in just this morning. And I know I'm skipping ahead, but I got to read this because I want somebody to find this for me if they can. If whoever's listening to this, I have not found it yet, but you'll understand where I'm going with this. Mark, good morning. I am currently in Kuwait awaiting a flight back to the United States. I am working as a defense contractor in Kuwait. I was watching the Armed Forces Network station, also known as AFN, and to my amazement, they had a quick 30-second infomercial where a scientist guy talks about how recently there are rumors on the net that the sun moves around the earth. Now, as I'm listening, he talks about doing scientific experiments to disprove this, and why, because he is a scientist and he knows. I'll try and tape it if it comes back on. It was sort of a shock that this was on AFN. Someone's trying to do damage control. Best regards, Corey. If somebody can find that 30-second infomercial from the Armed Forces Network station, I would love to put that thing up, because it's not damage control. Well, if you believe in deeper layers, this thing is getting to a point where they're just going to introduce it into different markets. It's sideways. It's like, by the way, you may hear that the earth is flat. It's not. They don't have to bring that up in the Armed Forces Network. The fact you're bringing it up means you're introducing the topic deliberately, but you're coming at it, you're coming at it sideways. So if anyone can find that, knows where it is, and you can't download it, I will find a guy to download it, but I need the link to it. And I have not found it yet. So anyway, that's it, you guys. If anyone wants to email me, please send me an email at msargent23@comcast.net. If I can't read it on Strange World, which is on Truth Frequency Radio, Tuesday nights currently at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, then I will read it here in a separate email show. Love that everyone's sending the emails. I have an unlimited supply, and I enjoy hearing the thoughts, and you guys are the pulse of Flat Earth. So fantastic. Thumbs up. And until next time, stay flat.